to episode number 91 of the 3 Count Out podcast. We are rapidly approaching episode number 100. So if you want to be around for that, make sure you hit like, subscribe, follow, do all the things, click all the buttons. My name is Era V1, and if you talked to me 30 minutes ago, I would have been feeling a little bit different than I am now. As we sat down to start recording this podcast, I saw a push notification come through about AJ Brown and his potential departure from the Philadelphia Eagles. Stack that with what happened with Penn State on Sunday. I got some thoughts today, and joining me to hear those thoughts, as always, Jackal Joker and Mike.
Jackal Joker Industries has now gone private as a private equity firm paid $2 for the rights to the Jackal Joker Industries. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Did they include the Snickers bar I told them to throw in?
I got a fucking Twix. I was supposed to get a Snickers?
Sons of bitches. Ah, shit, I dropped a cough drop in my crotch. That's not where it's supposed to go.
Hi, my name's Jackal. There's a lot going on, and a lot that's not going to be going on in the future because I'm never going to play another Madden game for the rest of my life ever again.
Yeah.
Little joke. I know it has not a significant amount to do with wrestling or football right now, but Electronic Arts (EA) has gone private as the Saudis,
football.
The blood money capital of the world, has paid $55 billion
with a B.
with a B for ownership of Electronic Arts and all of their properties. Moving forward here for the future. So
also,
rip
isn't
the dream.
It Madden and college football?
Yeah.
No.
And like literally
said,
every other sports
if you
game.
Look up online.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that is tied to EA.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Thankfully, real life football is never going to have anything to do with Saudi Arabia, right? Right, guys?
Anyways.
Don't give him any ideas, you motherfucker.
What about the company that already has ties with Saudi Arabia, i.e. WWE? Because fun fact, this podcast is going to open with the three of us in the ring, and then both the Bronze are going to come down to attack all of us. We're going to get saved by Monday Night Uso, and then there's going to be a tag match to close the show where the Bronze and Seth Rollins stand tall with Becky Lynch coming down from the ceiling like SpongeBob to end the show.
How did you know how Raw's gonna end tonight? What the fuck?
Lucky guess.
Could you read my diary again?
Listen. WWE, all right, they don't got a lot of big shows coming up, but they did have some big headlines coming out of this week, and not necessarily for the reasons that they would like. Headline number one is the they're gonna fuck up another retirement tour because AJ Styles is officially in his last year with the WWE, wrapping up a decade. So he said by the end of 2026, he is out of here. Unfortunately, FGK not here to give his take on AJ Styles' retirement.
Known AJ Styles glazer, known AJ Styles fanboy, FGK will probably be drinking himself into a coma tonight because of that, and definitely not because of the Monday Night Football games we have tonight are significantly worse than the one that we had last week. Nope, he's drinking himself to death because AJ Styles is now retiring.
Yeah, but he did say he wants to stay with WWE.
Yeah, right.
And,
for the final
take on the training role and become behind the scenes guy. Which, if that's the case, cool, because the next generation means they get a good head to learn from.
Yeah, I low key, I just want AJ to just get a couple of dream matches and then just go. Like I don't trust WWE after this whole John Cena bullshit. And AJ Styles is, or at least in WWE's eyes, AJ Styles is nowhere near the star that John Cena is for their company. And they are not going to handle him the way that he should be. I think it's going to be great that that they're saying, hey man, if you want to be a trainer, you can come be a trainer. If you want to be a producer, awesome. Love that. I love that they give that opportunity to the legends that like maybe didn't always get their shot on the main roster. You know, like they never really got that full kind of run that they should have gotten. But I mean, dog, just get the fuck out of there. Get the fuck out of there while your name still means something. And fucking like, I do not trust TKO WWE. No. And honestly, I don't think this would happen with TKO. But I would love to see AJ go to AEW and maybe get a couple dream matches. You know, maybe we see an Osprey AJ on the way out, right? Like, I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with that, right? No one's gonna complain. But I don't think that would happen with TKO. I don't think they'd be okay with it.
It definitely makes me not super excited and super confident with all of it, judging by how the Cena one has been handled, and John Cena is literally WWE's golden boy, pony boy, whatever, and they fumbled the number one guy just fucking hard. And with AJ being in the position that he's in, with this weird angle of someone in the back, like, has it out for him or hates him or is trying to sweep him under the rug or whatever the fuck, and they're getting that type of bottom of the barrel story for AJ fucking Styles. Yeah, my faith in his retirement run with the TKO and friends is not zero, but it is very, very low. It's gonna suit him if he does go to AEW, or maybe he does sink back into that trainer position right now, because a lot of these NXT people that are coming up, especially some of the NIL signings, basically meaning anyone who's not named Obafemi, oh boy, they're a little rough around the edges still, because Styles, I feel, is a great coach who has that Shawn Michaels ring work style down pat, almost second nature. But he's also someone at the same time who can cut a very passable average promo. He was definitely better at it back in the day, but once you get a couple concussions adding up, you tend to kind of lose those motor skills after a while.
Well, you know, you're talking about NXT, you're talking about Obafemi. Let's kind of get into something that happened here, because NXT did have a pay-per-view PLE TV special. I don't know what these are. It was NXT No Mercy. It was, as Mike said, an event. It did happen.
Out of all the things this weekend, it was one of them.
Yeah,
it was one of them.
Listen, it was wrestling. Okay. Well, let's just real quick go over some of these. I'm gonna keep it honest with you guys. I didn't even watch the fucking thing. So let's just go through this here. Javon Evans defeating Josh Briggs by pinfall. Who would have seen that coming?
Again, great match, but yeah, you know, people are like, "Oh my god, he reversed a choke slam with a cutter." Who's ever done that? Oh wait, maybe some guy named Randy Orton. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard somebody on TikTok just compare Josh Briggs to American Badass Undertaker, but without the badass. And I was like, yeah, that's unfortunately that's just how I'm seeing Josh Briggs now. And he's a big dude, right? He can play that role. He can have good matches, but he's just so unbelievable right now.
He has great matches. It's just the fact that his promos sound so fucking cookie cutter and boring that you're like, why am I listening to this right now?
Yeah, like there's not, like, he wants to be the dude to show up and kick ass, and it's like, all right, cool, you can be that guy, but like that worked for American Badass Undertaker because he's the fucking Undertaker. Like,
yeah, like
he just, it's a little too, not that he's unbelievable, right? Like he can kick somebody's ass. He looks like he can throw a good punch. He's big as shit, right? He's gonna hurt somebody. But like at the same time, it's like I don't buy him as the character. You know, it's like I can tell that they're like scripting stuff for him. He doesn't really seem comfortable as whatever WWE is trying to put him as.
Yeah, they need to put him back in the tag team. That tag team was so good, and then they were just like, "Wow, this is actually gaining some traction." Well, let's fucking change that.
Yeah, with the tag team with the dude with the shaved head.
No, he was in a tag team with I want well, now I feel like a dickhead. I forgot the dude's name.
I mean, it was like the Japanese guy, right?
No, well, yeah, that was cool. But no, before that, he originally was in a tag team with another guy, and they were, country boys, and they had Fallon Henley with them, and they were good. Like, they were both learning, they were both getting better, and then they split them up, made them both bad guys for some reason, because that's what you do with a tag team. Make them both bad guys. That tracks. And then they both fucking failed epically, and now here we are.
The coolest thing about this match was the fact that Javon Evans did this and was also either at the same time or very shortly afterwards appearing on whatever event TNA also had running at the exact same time.
Yeah. Well, and that's the overall more interesting story of NXT right now is the TNA invasion. I mean, you got Matt Cardona showing up on an NXT, huh? So
still calling themselves an indie god, even though he's begging to come back to WWE.
The one joke on Twitter of Triple H I get hundreds of texts of people asking to come back to WWE every single day. One guy responded, "It's Matt Cardona texting you 100 times, Hunter. Shut the fuck up."
I'm subbed to Matt Cardona on YouTube. And he put out the other day, like his own WWE Unreal episode. It was during his death match with Shotzi when he came out in the DeLorean, and he was like vlogging the entire thing and like filming it. And he said that exact same thing where he was like, people just say that you're the indie guy, you want to go back to WWE. And he's like, I'm just sitting here busting my ass. And I will give Matt Cardona credit for that. He is busting his ass. But you also cannot tell me that man does not want back in the WWE, and for good reason, right? I mean, like listen, if you're a star like Matt Cardona, that's a paycheck, and if you don't give a fuck about the ethics of your money, WWE is a great company to work for. So I mean, it's right up Matt Cardona's alley, But we had a couple other matches here. We had a singles match for the WWE Women's Speed Championship, which has gone from Twitter to NXT because their contract with Twitter expired, and Elon Musk, I guess, forgot that it existed and didn't renew it. So now it's on NXT, which is cool that now we're actually getting to see it on TV, because before they weren't even allowed to show it on TV. But Sol Ruca is your WWE Women's Speed Champion, and she had Zarya in her corner as the lesbians do. And she defeated Jada Parker by pinfall at a nice little 4-minute and 48-second match.
Was it needed on the card? No.
Speed.
You unfortunately, this is the type of work that they're going to have to sludge through here for a second if you want literally fucking anybody to give a damn about this Speed title, because I guarantee you maybe 6 people went through Twitter and trying to go out of their way to try to find the Speed matches, so they got a long road ahead to make this title worth the shit anytime soon.
Yeah, and I mean, it's Sol Ruca, she's gonna put on a good match anytime. So you get your soul cutter, soul snatcher, what she calling it? What is it?
Soul snatcher clit? What?
Soul snatcher? No,
soul snatcher.
Her flipping RKO that she does, the soul snatcher. That's
the clit crusher.
Click. But no, it's Sol Ruca. You get your high spot in, right? It's a 5-minute match. You build the one high spot, 1, 2, 3, you're done. So like, whoop de fucking do. And the Women's Speed Championship will mean something eventually, right?
Yeah, just like the men.
It's such illustrious holders like Ricochet.
Andrade. Listen. On this entire in this card, there's a Women's Speed Championship match. There ain't a men's. But
I don't think we need either.
No, God, no. But it served as a nice little palate cleanser. Because one thing that I did see from this event was the weaponized steel cage match where Jordynne Grace defeated the violent lesbian Blake Monroe by pinfall. And this match had a very interesting spot in it where Jordynne Grace got tied to the ring ropes using a hairdryer from Blake Monroe's glamour bag. She had a black velvet bag that everybody thought was filled with thumbtacks, and it was actually filled with, like, you know, real shit that she was going to use. So she tied Jordynne Grace to the ropes with this hairdryer cord, and then went back to the bag, pulled out scissors, which scissors on NXT, what the fuck? And she was holding them like she was going to stab Jordynne Grace in the head. Little AEW came out of Blake Monroe. She started getting that 1,000-yard stare and saw red. She went up to Jordynne Grace and cut Jordynne Grace's hair.
Gasp.
Oh, no!
Yeah, NXT clearly still not allowing a blood spot.
No. I mean, listen, I understand that they my thought here, because we know that WWE likes to manipulate things, all right? So my thought here is that they are purely trying to take, like, Mariah May scissor spot, or, like, you know, they're trying to, like, get that, like, they're trying to basically make it so that way if you're looking for her extreme shit from AEW, you find her WWE stuff because the keywords are the same. You know what I mean? That's what I think, maybe. But I mean, also, credit where credit's due, that's a very interesting take on using scissors in a match, of actually using them as scissors to cut someone's hair. Fits into Blake Monroe's character, and Jordynne Grace even kind of took it an extra bit and put on Twitter. She was like, if any hairdressers can get me in ASAP, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, I'm going to be on NXT looking chopped. So we'll see if Jordynne Grace gets a haircut by Tuesday. I don't know.
That is probably one of the worst lines I've ever heard about a women's wrestler. We'll see if she gets a haircut. Oh boy. Thanks, NXT.
Mean, you know, listen,
that's what we have to work with.
This really. Jordynne Grace won. Okay, she came out on top, but the spot that everybody's talking about is Blake Monroe cutting her hair, and that therein is the problem. That this is Jordynne Grace still winning, so that way they can still say, well, she's going to get a shot at the championship because she's so dominant. And she beat Blake Monroe in such a violent match. And then Jordynne Grace is going to probably lose her championship opportunity. And then next up will be Blake Monroe, and Blake Monroe will win. Or the worst option is that Jordynne Grace wins the NXT Women's Championship purely to hold it until Blake Monroe takes it off her.
Ding.
So, you know, it's one of those things where, was this a violent match? Yes. By NXT standards, this was fucking awesome. But at the same time, man, you can see where they're going here, and it's like, all right, Jordynne, you know, she should have been on the main roster a year ago. Jordynne Grace should have never gone to NXT. She should have just gone right to the main roster. I guess she wanted to stay in Florida or whatever, but, like, come on, dog.
Well, and now they you know, after her husband and other, you know, he's also a wrestler, Jonathan Gresham, had a stroke. Yeah. I know they gave her some time off for that shit too. So.
Oh yeah, and you know, there is that real life stuff going on, so maybe some of that played a role. I don't know, but from my perspective, it kind of feels like NXT's ripping the rug out of Jordynne Grace, and I think if Jordynne Grace goes to the main roster, that's a nice reset for her. I don't know what she does on the main roster, but I think, you know, maybe the writers that get paid to figure that shit out should start to figure that shit out, because it's going to be a problem for Jordynne Grace. And if she just kind of flounders in NXT, I mean, this is TKO WWE. They'll cut you just for the hell of it, right? So it's not great. But you know, NXT, right? This is WWE's competitor to AEW. So you know, AEW star goes to NXT, they lose. That means Ethan Page has to win. An AEW guy has to win. So Ethan Page retained his NXT North American Championship, defeating Tavion Heights by pinfall. Ethan Page has been having a wonderful North American Championship run where he's the Canadian North American champion. So he's the best North American of all time. And he's, you know, it's him and Chelsea Green basically fucking running through NXT with the Secret Hervis and Tavion Heights, former, I think, Olympian for the United States.
Yes.
So, USA Stars and Stripes versus Canada. And Canada comes out on top, as they should. Don't you know? But,
another good little match. It was showed off
minutes.
Tavion Heights, another good defense.
Yeah, no, and I mean, Tavion's newer, so I think it was one of those things of it's like nothing really egregious happened during this match, and it's like, all right, cool.
He was one of the guys they picked when they started doing that little deal with Japan. They picked him to go over, and then all of a sudden they were like, shit, he is way better at this than we thought he would be. And, he became, like, super popular over there. And then NXT was like, no, never mind, we want him back. And then blew up his whole fucking momentum. And it was like, well, good job, guys.
Yeah, and I mean, Tavion Heights, he's kind of like a little Kurt Angle vibe right now. So, you're going to get a good match when you put him in with somebody, right? It's just, he's newer. He just needs some time. But, man, he's going to do some good things. Because, again, not a bad match, right? Not a bad match for Ethan Page. Not a bad match for Tavion Heights. Nothing egregious, so you can't complain. Although, what I heard has been egregious is the NXT Women's Championship. JC Jane with Fallon Henley defeating Lola Vice by pinfall. Lola Vice has been going kind of heavy in AAA. JC Jane apparently just kind of not really there too much. And then also there was like a run-in at the end of this match, and WWE.com spoiled who the run-in was. It was Lainey Reed, and it was like a masked run-in, and they didn't reveal it. And then WWE.com in the headline put, Lainey Reed helps JC Jane. So, yep, oopsie doopsie. And the main event of NXT No Mercy was for your men's NXT Championship, Oba Femi losing to Ricky Saints via 5 DDTs. Ricky Saints, your new NXT men's champion. And I think Oba Femi maybe takes some time off, comes back, chases the title, or is like some kind of poll for some, PLE debut or something like that. But Ricky Saints finally getting a championship. So that was kind of the big headline coming out of No Mercy that I saw, was Ricky Saints just DDTing the hell out of Oba Femi repeatedly. And apparently a bunch of Twitter just forgot that the DDT was Jake the Snake's finisher. Because they were like, what do you mean? What do you mean he won over DDT? It's like, well, first of all, you get your head driven into the mat 5 times. And one of them was out of the ring, and I think another one was through a table. Dog, relax.
Well, not just that, but if all these people talking shit for Ricky Saints or against him did any research on him, he's won with a DDT before against big opponents because he can't lift them for the Rochambeau. Everybody needs a backup finisher for a larger opponent. His is like a spinning DDT.
Plus, he can hit his pose when he hits the DDT, and that's the important thing for him. He's thinking about it, man. you gotta stay in gimmick. But that's NXT No Mercy. It happened.
Yeah, and because I know somebody from WWE listens to our podcast every now and then, and they're already probably ruining Survivor Series as we speak. I just want to put this out there now. You have 4 brands. You could either do a 2v2 brand, Raw and SmackDown versus NXT and TNA, or you can make everything a fatal 4-way and do all 4 brands against each other and really fucking go ham at Survivor Series, which I think would be dope.
I was thinking something
instead
similar.
Of more fucking bloodline bullshit.
Yeah, I was thinking something similar, but I was thinking Team WWE versus Team TNA. Like TNA shows up, and then the main roster of WWE is like, yo, what the fuck? We gotta go reinforce.
TNA doesn't have enough people for that.
Well, I know, but if you do 4v4, you get your men's, you get maybe you get a dude from Raw, dude from SmackDown, 2 from NXT, and then 4 people from TNA. Listen, it's wrestling. You can just do that. But I definitely think that they have every opportunity to do something awesome with TNA and Survivor Series, and they have every opportunity to not do that. So,
Yeah.
but if Joe Hendry comes out at Survivor Series, they're gonna blow the fucking roof off that place.
Right?
I
But we still have to
think.
do another pay-per-view before that.
Well, don't NXT do like a NXT War Games as well too, or is it now that it's been on the main roster, NXT don't do it as much anymore, if at all?
I have no idea.
Yeah, no, it kind of. I think last year with the main roster doing it, I think the main roster kind of stole it.
Because now it's a little too easy because, hey, how many people are in Seth Rollins' group?
4!
Yeah.
And how it's Punk, AJ, and probably the Usos.
Well, nope. The third's most likely going to be Cody Rhodes because there was.
They are fighting for the stupid ass ring. Oh, I forgot.
No. Not even fighting for the stupid ass ring. Becky Lynch said she was going to put Cody in his place and then stormed off. And that was last week, which means this week when Cody goes to cut his promo, Becky's coming down to call him out. And then I bet you AJ will run out, right? Because you got to set up the Intercontinental Championship match. Then AJ is coming out protecting Cody. So now Cody and Punk will be friends. And then, he just happens to be going against Seth. Oh, look at that. My question just is who's the fourth? And it's probably going to be a returning Roman Reigns.
Or LA Knight. Yeah.
That won't be LA Knight. It won't be LA Knight. They forgot about him. Yeah.
No, I don't know if you've noticed. They just keep on putting him in random bullshit that involves somebody high up. So it's probably going to be him for no reason. He'll just be there.
Oh, hear me out. How about this tonight? Instead of Jey Uso making the save, the Braun Brawns are going to come out and beat up Jey Uso, and LA Knight's going to make the save. Ooh.
Hey, I'm just surprised that Jey Uso fucking cleared concussion protocol after he whapped himself in the face with that chair.
Bust himself open the fucking hard way and everything, too. I think, Mike, you said it the one time, you look at him, he's looking around going, where am I?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where I am.
That dude
my God.
had no clue where he was for a little second.
Did you guys see the Jade Cargill botch?
Yeah.
Oh God.
With
Second
Nia
person Nia Jax has done that too.
Yeah, dump her on the steps face first. See how that works.
Did
I
it to
didn't
Kyrie,
realize Jade Cargill
him.
was Darby Allin. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And even still, the ref saw that and went, 1,
No DQ.
2. This isn't the finish. No, her shoulders up. Yep. Yeah. Shoulders up. That was
what
so
happened
bad.
to call it like a shoot? I was so focused on the stair thing, I forgot about the fucking fucked up pinfall. What happened to call it like a shoot?
No fucking clue.
And even then,
no clue.
Even then, why was that not the finish? The only reason why that wasn't the finish was that way Tiffany Stratton could hit a fucking moonsault. Like, are we being serious here? I don't know, man.
Jade Cargill is bleeding from her skull, but this isn't the planned finish of the match.
Jade Cargill gets her shit rocked, and you give the opportunity to show that Jade Cargill is mortal, right? You get for the first time in her WWE career, right? You get to show her like actively like fucking not just coming back from like getting attacked backstage, but like actually powering through, right? Like think what that did for Becky Lynch of doing all of that. And it's like, nah, just don't capitalize off any of that. Hit the fucking moonsault, go home. It's like what? And the match sucked. It sucked. It's like what? What are we doing? What are we doing? That Jade Cargill was trained by Bryan Danielson. What are we fucking doing? And it's the second person that Nia Jax is injured doing that shit.
Yeah, maybe don't have her doing the throw people in the stair spot anymore, eh? And, really the only good match that came out of SmackDown was Javon Evans answering the open challenge for Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably just became a bunch of people, like a bunch of kids' reasons to wrestle when they're like 10 years older. So, I mean, that's kind of cool at least.
Let me tell you, Sam, I know that Sami Zayn's push is because Saudi Arabia gave WWE a lot of money for a Royal Rumble and then even more money for WrestleMania. I am aware that is why Sami Zayn is getting put into this position. However, I really, really, really like when the mid-card titles are defended every single week. I don't give a fuck if it's a story. I don't give a fuck if it's an open challenge. I don't give a fuck if it's somebody showing up, making a challenge, and Sami Zayn says, you know what? Fuck it, let's ball. I don't care. I love when you get to actually see this shit get defended. And Sami Zayn is not pretending to be the underdog Sami Zayn anymore. He is purely saying, I'm going to go put on bangers every week. Come watch what I do. Because not one of those open challenges has sucked yet. And it's like...
No, he's doing what Cena did, and he's doing it the right way. He's just putting on good matches for the belt. Eventually he'll lose it to somebody, and hopefully it's somebody that can continue.
It's like he just got sucked into a black hole. The Saudis heard him saying positive things. They need to come congratulate him. Oh my goodness.
We're getting silenced.
Oh my God, we're getting...
So AJ Brown wants out of the Eagles. Motherfucker. God damn. I've been trying to process this for the past half hour. That wide receiver wants out of the goddamn Super Bowl winning, reigning, defending Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. The Saudis are silencing you.
Yeah, I guess. He's starting to say positive things. Cut him.
Get him out of here. We need the negativity. We benefit off of it more.
We thrive off of chaos.
Yeah, no, we'll switch into some football here. When I was sitting down I was telling you boys, but when I was sitting down to start this recording here, I checked my phone and I saw a push notification from ESPN that AJ Brown might want to leave the Eagles. Nick Sirianni says, I don't know about that. We'll see. But AJ Brown apparently posted a Bible verse or something to his Twitter about being quiet and kind of just disappearing, and kind of the vibe is just kind of letting people dig their own graves a little bit. Which, listen, if you look at how AJ Brown's been used in the past couple years, I mean, he was the weapon that we had during the Super Bowl, right? Like that when Super Bowl was won in the past game, like the Chiefs had Barkley locked down, but I think AJ Brown right now, we're talking, going into week 5 here, and I think he has 7 receptions, something ridiculous where it's not through fault of his own, right? He's just not getting the targets. And I understand, that it's you have him and maybe you're not going to use him every week. And, you want to keep him for when it's a big thing, right? You want to keep that weapon, right? But at the same time, it's dog, you got to use him. You got to use him.
For 4 games, the stat line reads as follows. 14 receptions, which is tied for 58th in the league.
Jesus Christ.
151 yards, which is tied for 64th in the league. A single touchdown, which is tied for 45th in the league. And 10.8 average yards per catch, which is tied for 127th in the league. Mind you, 109 of AJ Brown's yards through 4 games came in a single game where the Eagles played against the Rams in that 33-26 win. AJ had 6 catches for those 109 yards. Other than that, the Cowboys game, a single catch for 8 yards. Kansas City, 5 catches for 27. The most recent Tampa Bay game, 2 catches for 7 yards.
To the Eagles defense, or defense, not defense, to their defense, they don't have to throw a lot because they have somebody like Saquon on the field, right? He takes a lot of burden off the team, and then you have Jalen Hurts' legs as well. And Jalen Hurts has never been I don't know how to put this because they had running backs, but they never really used them. The way we had Peyton and Drew Brees and Matt Stafford before, all these 5,000-yard quarterbacks, we don't have that anymore. We have quarterbacks that are getting only 200 yards because, that's how the game is now. The game's changed, right? And that's kind of the quarterback Jalen Hurts is. He works in a system where he doesn't have to be the ball, chucking quarterback. He doesn't have to be a field general. He gets some first downs, and that's what matters. But he only gets, last game he had 111 yards.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing, man. It's offensively, the Eagles are just honestly playing super fucking conservative. I mean, even if you look at how they're playing Saquon this year, he's not he's not out there for every play like he was last season. I mean, they it's one of those things where I think, the Eagles are they're a team that focuses a lot on their short game. I mean, look at the tush push. And real quick, just a quick side tangent here because I brought up the tush push. The Eagles, for the first time in like fucking, what was it, 2 years or something? For the first time, ran a trick tush push. Did you guys see this shit? Good. They handed it off to Saquon. They fucking handed it right off to him, and he just ran right in. And everyone was like, what the fuck just happened? Even the commentators were like, did they just do a fake tush push? What the hell? I mean, hey, it worked. It worked. But, it's shit like that where it's like, we could have been doing that the entire fucking time, right? You can make it a 50-50, where now the Eagles line up for the tush push. You don't know if they're going for a tush push or handing off to Saquon or passing it to A.J. Brown or whatever. Again, it's just, they're playing super conservatively. And I get that, A.J. wants to play more. I think he should. I really do. But at the same time, it's like, dog, we're winning. It's it's real hard to argue. I mean, I don't think AJ Brown should leave. I think if he does leave, he's going to get a ton of money wherever he goes.
Well, I think he just wants to be a true wide receiver one, in that he wants to be, over 1,000 yards, probably close to 2,000 in receiving. He wants like 150 to 200 catches. He wants 50 touchdowns, and that's never going to happen with the Eagles. He could probably win another Super Bowl, but that's never going to happen because they don't need that. That's not how the team's built.
Yeah, and they're going like the AJ's the deep guy, right? He's the guy that's fucking running down there, and if he can break away, Jalen's going to take the shot. But I mean, most of the short passing game is Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert. And Jalen loves Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. So like that's where he's comfortable when he has to make quick decisions. But AJ Brown is the guy that's going to fucking catch, the fucking bomb that wins the game. And it's like, dog, you're being put in that position where they're going to use you when you need you, but they're only going to use you when you need you. And I don't want to, I'm not a fan of Kevin Patullo and the way that he's calling our offense, but at the same time, AJ, please don't leave, dog. Please. Please don't leave, please. You won us the Super Bowl last year. Please don't leave.
With the certain type of players that are coming out of college nowadays, from, again, my very fat, white podcaster guy perspective, who's currently sitting on my ass fucking shoving cheeseburgers down my throat, I know my role, and I'm accepting it, so I think that allows me to take this stance. It's a very, very egocentric driven league, and I think it really kind of started with sort of that Odell Beckham, well, I can't even say Odell Beckham Jr. generation, because hell, even guys like Randy Moss, when they came in the league, when they weren't getting the attention that they deserved, they're like, fuck it, I can go somewhere else and be their entire offense. I know I'm that guy. I know I can put up these numbers. And that really has kind of went on from generation to generation, especially nowadays with how much money is being thrown around the league, and with a couple teams in this league who really still desperately need wide receiver help on the outside. I think, unfortunately, the pieces are kind of falling into place where the Eagles, I would say, Devontae Smith, he's a different skill set than A.J. Brown, but it's just as passable to have him as your wide receiver one as well. Just very similar in, like, say, the Dolphins once upon a time, when they both had Jarvis Landry and fucking Tyreek Hill. Like, those two I felt were interchangeable. I think with the way that egos are being inflated in this league, with how much the Eagles wanted to get A.J. Brown from the Titans when he was first there, I feel like it's a new kind of, I guess, front office, for lack of a better word, front office, coaching staff, whatever you feel like calling it. And I feel like that sort of change from when AJ first got on the Eagles till now, obviously the play calling as well, too, is definitely leading towards the current feelings that the man is feeling, I'll say.
Yeah, and I think, I'll say this. I think, if AJ Brown leaves the Eagles, right, I think Devontae Smith, Heisman winning wide receiver, obviously wide receiver. Jahan Dotson can kind of move up. He was a Penn State guy. He's big on like the kick returns and shit like that. He can play that deep threat. So I think he moves up in the AJ Brown spot. But I really think that, if AJ Brown leaves, oh God, I hope he leaves the NFC. I hope for both of our sakes. Fair. He leaves the NFC. Because he is going to be a problem. He is often the guy that bails the Eagles out. You have no idea how happy I am when it's the fourth quarter and my butthole is so tight it could turn coal into diamonds, and AJ Brown makes a fucking ridiculous one-handed 70-yard diving catch. Oh, so good. And I'm going to miss that if that doesn't happen. But at the same time, I think, you can move some stuff around. It's just one of those things where it's unfortunate that coaching staff is the problem here, in my opinion. Kevin Patullo, we talked about him for a couple of weeks. I'm not a huge fan. Hey, speaking of coaches, I'm not a huge fan of. Let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend who can't fucking beat a top 10 ranked team. Let's talk about James Franklin. All right, let's talk about James Franklin, who is 4-21 against top 10 opponents and 1-18 against Big Ten teams. Let's talk about the dude who got up there and just said, yeah, it is a place that we struggle in. It really is. It really is. Listen, the thing about college football is that you get a couple years to make a shot at it. Okay? Penn State has notoriously been bad about developing quarterbacks. It's always been a weak point. I mean, Drew Aller did not become the quarterback that he needed to be until this year. This is the shot. He is a senior. He is leaving. We have to use him or the clock resets. And James Franklin still can't beat a top 10 ranked team. And it's a notorious issue for him. Ohio State is a notorious issue for him. He has a 1.60 winning percentage against top 10 teams. That's tied for the third worst record by a coach at a single school since the poll began in 1936. Okay? He's tied for the third worst of all time against top 10 ranked teams. Listen, that's a coach that'll win you a Big Ten championship. He ain't winning you a natty. All right? It's not good. It's not good. And he goes, I know we have a passionate fan base. I know that when we win, everybody gets excited. And when we lose, everybody, I know everyone's frustrated. Dog, you need to figure your shit out. Penn State is one of those schools where James Franklin only gets involved in the play calling during key critical moments, which means in key critical moments like double overtime against the Oregon Ducks in the fucking nighttime whiteout ESPN big day, all cameras on State College. You choke it during double overtime. I stay up until fucking 1:30 a.m. I'm pissed at this shit, man. It's crazy. It's the last time Penn State was good was when we had Saquon. And I had hopes for this year. I thought, you know what? If we can get over Oregon, we can get over anyone. But I don't think that if we can't get over Oregon, I don't think we can. I don't think we've changed, and we didn't change. Drew Aller's stepping up, and that's great. But I mean, it's a coaching problem at this point.
Because now it's 2016. No wins against top 10 teams. That is two entire classes of athletes coming through. That is from freshman to senior to graduated Twice. 2 whole batches of people have blown through, and the only constant thing that has remained the same is James Franklin. So I do think you're on to something there. However, looking at far as this year goes, you have 2 games that you need to be paying attention to because they are back-to-back weeks, and they are going to decide the rest of your season. That is November 1st at Ohio State, and that is November 8th against Indiana. I feel you need to win one of those games to back end your way into the college football playoffs.
We need to beat Ohio State.
If you win them both, you're good. You need to win at least one of these to make sure you even have a chance of thinking about sniffing the playoffs this year. But the scary thing at the moment is that both Ohio State and Indiana are both top 10 teams.
Yeah. And I mean, let's talk about Ohio State because so Penn State. Here's the stat: Penn State pulled off their biggest fourth quarter comeback since their game against Ohio State that I was at in 2016. It feels so similar to 2016 Penn State, where it's like we have players that are starting to step up, right? I mean, everybody knew Saquon was going to be a star when he got to the NFL. Everybody knows that Drew Aller is going to be a star when he gets to the NFL. We have these big games that we need to win. We have these losses that we had going into that game against Ohio State in 2016. We need to beat Ohio State if we want to get into the playoff, especially when you take into account that the committee of people that are grading this are probably having similar discussions to what we're having right now, of that these are record-setting lows for James Franklin as a coach. Penn State trailed 17-3. 17-3. That was the comeback that we had in the fourth quarter. We went all the way to double overtime. We take Oregon to the fucking limit, and we still can't get it done. And it's like, it's not a fault of the players, right? It's not. No player on Penn State was like horrible during that game. Everyone played great. We took them to double overtime. We had the biggest comeback since 2016. Like, it's you look at that and you're like, okay, the players ain't the problem, dog. It's not the problem of execution. It's the dude calling the plays. And who's calling the plays in double overtime? Coach Franklin. That's it. I close my. I'm done with my rant. Thank you for my time.
Rest your fucking case. My goodness. Penn State, call this man, email this man. We need to make some wholesale changes the rest of the way. But there were some changes around the college football world, as well as the NFL, but since we're in college right now, just like I believe Coach Sharon Moore will be taking over the reins after his nice little 2-week vacation where I believe he both got a pedicure and a manicure, getting McDonald's every day. Good for him. Good for him. Michigan is gearing up to take on Wisconsin this weekend, whilst Penn State is going to be traveling all the way to the West Coast to take on the UCLA Bruins in what should be a absolute slaughter because UCLA not good.
Yeah, they are 0-4. I'm feeling good about that one. If we lose to UCLA, I'm going to kill myself. That's what's going to happen.
Fair.
2 teams that are good is Alabama and Georgia, and apparently the Alabama Crimson Tide have remembered how to play football after getting beat by Florida State, knocking off the Bulldogs at home, ending Georgia's 33-game-long winning streak in Athens to a final score of 24-21. Slap my ass and call me Susan. That's a good win for Bama, especially after how the beginning of the season started. That's a good fucking win.
Yeah, they needed something like that. I mean, especially like it's been bad for Bama for a couple seasons. So they needed something like that. And I don't know if it's going to fix all their problems, but I think they're feeling good.
Definitely going to start sending them in the right direction. But this weekend, they have another big ranked matchup as they are seeing some demons from last season because heading into town is the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Oh.
Huh? What was that demons? One, Mike?
said they were seeing demons, and I said, oh, Finn Balor?
Oh, the Vanderbilt Finn Balor is coming on into town to take on Alabama.
Hell yeah. I am in.
Mike, I know you were able to sit down and watch the Tennessee Volunteers and the Mississippi State Bulldogs put on an absolute barn burner where Tennessee survives in overtime 41-34.
Yeah, a football game that should have never been that close, that was that close the whole time.
Gotta love it.
And a football game that I wish I didn't believe in because fuck you, Brian Kelly. I'm never believing in you ever again. You fucking
That's what happens when you
piece
believe.
Of shit.
It's fine when I believe, but when you believe, it's bad.
Yeah, when I pick him, he fucking loses. The bastard went into Ole Miss, getting knocked off 19-24. Lane Kiffin's daughter may be getting clapped by a LSU linebacker, but Ole Miss ended up winning in the end. That was the reason. When Lane Kiffin was asked about his daughter's relationship with the LSU player, he said, bet the over. That was his response. The over, unfortunately, did not hit, so be that as it may. A very entertaining week in college football across the board, setting up for a very not as exciting on paper weekend this upcoming week. However, the world of NFL was also lit on fire because we have not one, but two Lions games to talk about real quick since last week's episode was recorded before the Monday night SmackDown where the Lions went into Baltimore and how the kids say bent over Lamar Jackson to the tune of 7 sacks.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, you don't do that to Lamar. Even when the Eagles went in there last season and beat Baltimore, you still didn't sack Lamar 7 times.
Sacking Lamar at all is a
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Lions ended up winning that one 38-30 and also had another game this weekend where it was the complete opposite, where we had to deal with an elite offense last week. This week, an elite defense. Unfortunately, Fire Guy Kev in his drunken stupor is not here again. He needs to realize that just because the Cleveland Browns are the Cleveland Browns doesn't mean that they're shitty across the board. The Browns will more than likely have the number 1 defense, or at least a top 10 defense once this season is done. The Browns defense is really, really fucking good. It's just they got old sleepy Joe Flacco at quarterback because he went 16 for 34, 184 yards, and 2 interceptions. He's a little tired.
Yeah.
I am very happy with how this game turned out. It is a very nasty, disgusting, fucking grimy ass win because Cleveland wasn't letting up an inch. The Lions stats here, I'll read all 3 off real quick. Jared Goff, 16 for 27, 168 yards, 2 TDs and an interception. Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 carries, 91 yards, a TD. Amon-Ra, 70 catches, Jesus. 7 catches,
God, I wish.
70 yards, 2 touchdowns. So they didn't allow 100 yards rushing to a single rusher. They didn't allow 100 yards catching to a single receiver. And they held Jared Goff under 200 yards passing. Cleveland's defense is fucking good.
Yeah.
I am very excited we got this win, and thankfully we're going to get, again, the complete opposite next week, whereas the Eagles are going to be taking on Denver's should be very good defense. The Lions are going to be traveling to Cincinnati to take on the duct tape and spit and hopes and dreams held together defense of Trey Hendrickson and friends, taking on the Bengals at 425. But around the league, we are going to take a look at the other game that we picked, where the Rams finally handed the Indianapolis Colts their first loss. Rams ended up winning that one 27-20. I think as far as the pick'ems go, Mike and Aaron, you guys went with the Colts. Me and Kevin went with the Rams, so we got that one right. And the Chiefs improved to 2-2, knocking the Ravens down to a 1-3 start. that is probably the first time that has ever happened in my entire waking adult human existence on this planet. Chiefs 37, Ravens 20 in a very, very fucking boring game. And unironically enough, I would say the most entertaining game of the week, Sunday Night Football, was the only one that ended in a tie as the Micah Parsons Green Bay Packers waltzed back into Jerry's world to take on the Cowboys, the same Cowboys that just got beaten by the Bears, I think, to a final score like 31-10 the week before. Ended up tying this game. Packers 40, Cowboys 40.
Yeah. I don't know how you end up with a tie against the fucking Cowboys that are, what, half there at this point?
Yes, but this is the Cowboys without CeeDee Lamb.
Without CeeDee, without
Yeah.
Micah, without, like hopes and dreams. And the Packers, they came in week 1, and you're like, wow, these guys are kind of good. Week 2, you're like, wow, these guys might be all right. And then after that, they're just like, we're not going to play defense anymore.
Yeah, that's a vaunted defense that they were so excited about 4 weeks ago. All of a sudden, looks like they're forgetting how to play football. Because as a Lions fan, I will say Jordan Love, son of a bitch, he had a good game. He went 31 for 43, 337 yards with 3 touchdowns. That's a damn good game.
I didn't play Romeo Doubs. He got 2 of them with 79 yards. Whoops.
Yep. Although George Pickens on the other side caught 8 catches, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns, and I believe he tried fighting at least 7 different Packers players.
It wouldn't be a George Pickens game if he didn't.
So
that's where the real fantasy points should come into play.
Yeah.
Looking at next week's schedule, the NFL is going to be a bit more exciting than the world of college at this point, because the NFL, I think we're still trying to figure out who's doing what, who's good where. A couple teams are starting to go on buys in the week. This will be week 5 of the NFL.
Could you imagine having your bye week right now? That would suck.
Yes, because both of our teams did last year.
Exactly.
Not this year, though.
And it's just, what a pain in the ass. You're 5 weeks in, and it's like, all right, time to take a break. And everybody else is halfway through.
Hold off.
Well, I mean, hey, one team was the number 1 seed in the NFC, and the other team won the Super Bowl. So I think it worked out for both of us in the end.
Well,
one
but our
more
team
so
was
than
held
the
together
other.
by hopes and dreams.
God damn it.
And maybe the bye week later in the season would have helped you.
Looking at the college football slate right now, there is only 2 ranked on ranked matchups this week, where we are going to take a look at the first one that we talked about first. Hello, we're back.
Some problems over there?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Yep, Discord cut out. You need to take that one from the top.
And from the top, Mike, reset the mic.
I'm here.
Reset it right now. You got to flip the button.
There's no button.
Flip my button.
There's no button.
Huh? What?
Push my button, Mike.
Oh, that button.
Ooh, okay. All right. And now we are turning our attentions this week to our vaunted pick'ems. Turning to the attention to the world of college football here first, where there's only 2 ranked matchups where we get a chance to look at this week. We'll start with the one that we talked about first, the number 16th ranked Vanderbilt Commodores, traveling on down to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, taking on the Crimson Tide, who seem to be on a bit of a run here since losing week 1. 3:30 on Saturday. Vandy, Bama, Mike, who do we got?
Well, I fucked up by picking the other team this last week, so I'm not going to do that again. Give me Alabama, because they seem like they want to win now.
Mr. Arrow.
Man, I would really, really love for Vanderbilt to beat Alabama again. It'd be real fucking funny, wouldn't it? It'd be real fucking funny, wouldn't it? I mean, I know we were just saying that Bama might be back a little bit, but like, that'd be fucking hilarious. I think if Bama loses to Vanderbilt again, I don't. And great that they won last week, but if Vanderbilt wins this week, Bama's dead for sure. The question, though, is can Bama come back for a second week in a row? And I feel like they can. They're at home. They're going up against a team that was an upset last year, so they're obviously going to give them that attention that they need this year, and I'm feeling pretty confident, so I'll take Bama.
I believe in my heart of hearts that Vanderbilt has a chance. I don't know how good of a chance it is, but I believe their chance to win this game is not 0 because Alabama is favored by about 10.5 points. But
is that all?
But they were favored by more last year, and they still lost. So I'm going to roll the dice here. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put my nuts in my hand. I'm rolling with Vandy, baby. That should be worth fucking double points if I get that one.
Hey, you may not be able to calculate that percentage, but ESPN analytics have Vanderbilt has a 25% chance. The ESPN
That's not
analytics,
0.
That's
not
0. That is, you're
Come
right.
on, Randy.
25 is a good chunk.
The only other unranked matchup that we're going to take a look at is Miami going up against Florida State. Florida State dropping down in the rankings after being upset by Virginia at Virginia and having to deal with the quickest field storming of all time. But picking that one would be too easy because, of course, Miami is going to win that one now that Florida State has been brought back down to earth. So we're going to take a look at a good old 3 counted out action classic, baby.
Ooh.
Instead of looking at the good shit, we're going to be taking a look at just the shit as the Central Michigan Chippewas are traveling to Akron to take on the Zips. 3:30 on Saturday, matching Central Michigan, Akron. Mike, who do we got?
You think I'm going to do anything but give Central Michigan some love? Give me Central Michigan all day.
Mr. Era.
All right, listen. I know I usually don't try to look this up ahead of time, but I just want to. Oh, okay, all right. So Central Michigan 3-2, Akron 1-4.
Ooh.
So
Mac, baby.
Yeah,
Mac, baby.
You know what? Give me the Akron upset. Fuck you, Michigan boys.
Nice.
I can look. Discord is cut out. Discord is this one's gonna take some editing.
I don't have anymore either.
Yep. No. We're back. There we go. Yeah, I was gonna say
we're gonna wrap this up a little bit quicker.
This one's gonna take a little bit of editing. That's fine though. That's all right.
I'll roll Central. We'll go a little bit quicker before it cuts out again. Turning our attention to the world of the NFL.
Well, before you do, I just wanted to throw out the stat because I sent a picture of it. If the Lions have a winning season this year, that puts them, with just Dan Campbell, they have as many winning seasons as they did in the 20 years previous before him.
Jesus. And people...
That's insane.
And people don't call the Lions a fucking poverty franchise anymore just because we've had success recently. Fuck off. This is what we had to deal with. This is what Mike, more importantly, had to deal with. I was just a baby for like half of that.
Yeah, I was living it. I went to those games.
Our attention to the world of the NFL. We're going to take a look at a nice little shit bowl here first. Depending on how this game goes, it could feature the winless Miami Dolphins traveling to North Carolina to take on Bryce Young and I think the 1-3 Carolina Panthers. Dolphins, Carolina, 1 p.m. on Sunday.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a shit bowl right there.
Well, all right. So Carolina is pretty much imploding from within at this point. Like their whole team is falling apart. Nobody's happy to be there.
Yep.
But holy shit, is Miami's just
somehow is
so
worse.
bad right now. I just don't know if I can pick Carolina in good faith. So give me Miami getting their first win.
And, well, they could get it tonight. They are going up against Aaron Glenn. Actually, the game is live now. The winless Jets and the winless Dolphins playing Monday Night Football, followed up by Bengals and Broncos an hour afterwards. Yeah. You know what? No, I'm going to go Carolina. I still believe in Bryce Young. Damn it. Era, Miami, Carolina.
All right, listen. Tua's 4 interceptions already in the season, right?
Oh, Jesus, the poor bastard. I think so.
Tua's brain, man, it's gonna have to be studied. Give me the Panthers.
Oh my God, the Dolphins are already punting. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, good Lord. They're already punting.
I feel real good about the Panthers.
Fucking A. Oh my God.
I might have to change my answer.
Oh my God. That is so bad.
Well, punting off the first drive. Love that.
We'll take a look at Thursday Night Football. We'll get at least one good game because Thursday Night Football should be good, where we see Brock Purdy and the Niners traveling on down to L.A. to take on Matt Stafford, his big old needle of steroids, and Devontae Adams. Thursday Night Football.
And Niners. He's still healthy.
Rams and Puka Nacua. Mike, what we got?
Give me the Rams all day because, again, I think it happened during the 49ers game. Somebody tried to go into the tent and they couldn't because somebody else was already in the tent. Keeping Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey being healthy is literally killing the 49ers. That's not a joke. That's real. So give me the Rams all day because they're going to be facing an empty chair and an old man in a wheelchair soon.
No George Kittle. No Nick Bosa, just Brock Purdy going, what do I do? No, probably no Christian McCaffrey at that point. Jesus Christ.
No, it's just going to be Christian McCaffrey going, where is everybody?
What happened? Yeah, no, I kind of have to pick the Rams too, now that I think about it. Aaron.
So the Rams made my butthole tight when we went up against them versus the Eagles, right? It was a nice, they kind of showed up. They showed up in that first half and, they kind of looked nice. The 49ers, on the other hand, they've been barely beating the Seahawks, barely beating New Orleans, barely beating Arizona, and losing to Jacksonville. So I'm going to go with the Rams.
And with our track record of us doing clean sweeps across the board, looking at Ravens last week, that means the Niners are now going to win this game. You're welcome, San Francisco. There we go. Another week of football in the bags. We got all four teams to talk about next week. Nobody on a bye, nobody doing nothing. I am very much excited to see where next weekend takes us. Go further and deeper into the season, into October. Hopefully shit's about to start getting cold now. We get to see some colder games, some snow football. I am fucking here for it, baby.
I get to see some football this weekend, this Sunday. I'm going to be in Lincoln Financial Field, motherfuckers.
Oh!
It's going to be great.
Hey, at least you're not going to be at MetLife Stadium where everybody's getting, their legs injured.
Nope. Yeah. Yeah, nope. We're steering clear of MetLife for the rest of my MetLife because I'm not. I don't like that. Fucking just absolutely horrible. They had random staircases that went nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, crazy. Horrible design, horrible layout. I don't know how to wrap this one up. I don't know.
Well,
did I cut out again?
I think
if
they enjoyed this episode, they need to smash that like button over on the YouTube. They need to give us a little 5-star rating because we are a 5-star program. If you leave a comment, I'll make Mike read it out on next week's episode in his best British accent possible.
Ooh, I could do that. Depends on what kind you want, too.
Ooh, you'll find out next week. You got to leave us a nice little comment, though. If you know the secret sauce on how to fix the turf or the grass at MetLife Stadium, please leave it in the comments down below. Or if you have any thoughts on the upcoming football season, or if you too aren't going to be attending the Saudi WrestleMania, tell me down below. Just me and me alone, not the other two. Leave it for Jackal.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, make sure it's a secret.
If you enjoyed the things that I said, you could find me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/JackalJoker or youtube.com/JackalJoker. If you didn't enjoy any of it, too bad, so sad. Nana, nana, boo, boo. Nana, neener, neener, neener. You're fat, you're smell, you're ugly, plus bald, plus L, plus ratio.
Damn. All right.
But I actually am bald.
If you want to find more of me, you can find me over at twitch.tv/EraV1 or youtube.com/EraV1Music. I don't know any brain rot. Skibbity Ohio Rizzler? Is that what the kids are saying?
You just added to the Super AIDS all the Saudi money. If you like me, just keep on listening to this. I want us to be your ringtone when somebody calls. Actually, I want it to be, you know how like in early to like mid 2000s you could listen to a song when you called somebody? I want us to be that. That's what I want. And if you don't like me, that's okay. I'm currently dying from the plague.
Not again. Or here, I'll open up. You cough in my mouth. I need a reason to call off of work tomorrow.
Oh.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to just do your kinks. Started off fake, turned real.
Oh no, Jack died. Oh, I'm gonna go for the pin. I'm gonna go for the pin. Got him, Mike.
Are you pinning another dead body? All right, 1, 2, 3. We really got to stop having people be dead on this.
Yeah,
people are gonna start
undefeated
talking.
against dead bodies.
People are going to start talking. We got a lot of dead bodies piling up. There's a lot of dead jackals.
I'm like Kurt Angle.
Oh my God. Like a concerning amount of dead jackals.
God.